commercial GCs, this one system could massively reduce the delays to respond to RFIs and reduce the chance of missing change orders, meaning that you do not eat the cost. And I'm going to be walking you through exactly how it works in this video. By the way, if you're a commercial GC doing between $10 to $50 million a year in revenue, you would like us to help you implement systems to increase the profitability of your jobs or projects, check out the link in the description below. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm inside of our system. Now, this system is specifically built for commercial GCs to capture RFIs, change orders, your billing process, and to manage projects and everything else. And I'm going to be walking you through it in this video today. So, as you can see on the left-hand side and where we are at the moment, we are on a projects board. This will show you all of your active projects, upcoming projects, cancelled or postponed projects, and completed projects. You can assign your project manager to this project and also the super, whoever is on site on that particular job or project. We then have a status, then the project reference number. So every single project should have a project reference number, which this one does not seem to have. So I've just gone ahead and added one there. We can then see the timeline for all of our different projects, like when they're meant to be starting, when they're meant to be finishing, the type, and the revenue as well. So whether you have different project types and ultimately the revenue. We then have, and this is the more important stuff. So this is just like where we manage the projects on a day-to-day basis. We can see things that relate to that particular project. But more importantly, we can then see the RFI status of this project. So this is essentially all RFIs that are associated with this particular project by the project reference number, and what the status of those RFIs are. So I can see here that 50% of the RFIs that have come in are completed and 50% are new, so yet to actually be responded to. They're not even active yet. I then have the same for change orders as well. So I can see the status of all of the change orders that have come into the system. I've got one that's approved, I've got two that have been billed for, and I've got one that's been requested. And I'll be able to easily glance at the status of all of the change orders when I come onto my projects board and also my RFIs. Furthermore, moving on from there, is we can see the change order value, the approved change orders. So this is the total value of the change orders that have been submitted, whether they've been approved or declined or requested, whatever stage. We've then got the amount that have been approved. So approved is that the project manager or the superintendent, whoever's responsible for the change orders, has said, yes, we're all good to go, but they haven't actually been paid for yet. So they haven't been billed. And that's what billed change orders are. So essentially they've been billed and paid for. That means that you have actually received the money for your change orders, or that change order, or whichever change orders got sent over to billing. And then you have declined change orders as well. So the value of change orders that were declined. So you'll be able to track all of that information at a glance really, really easily here. But each aspect of this, whether it's RFIs or change orders or billing, they have their own stages, their own process. So what we created was a form. This form would allow you to add in, so let's just hypothetically say RFI. You could go ahead and add in, so you give it a name, and then you would assign a project reference number. So you would be familiar as the subcontractor or whoever's submitting this information via the form. So I guess in this instance, it would be a subcontractor. They submit via the form using the project reference number that they have been given by you. They can then submit information about the RFI or the stuff that they need. So the type of RFI it is, the priority, whether it's critical, high, medium, low, when they need it by, whether they've referenced or the reference spec and drawings, the description, the proposed solution, any attachments, and then they can go ahead and fill in their information as well. Now, when they then do that, it creates a new record on the RFIs board. It will automatically connect to the project, so we can see the status of the project, so the RFIs relating to that project, automatically assigns the project manager, brings over the project reference number, and then more importantly, brings in all the information about that particular RFI. Now, the reason we've done this, and I'll just walk you through it in a moment, but RFIs are quite often distributed back and forth via email. Email is susceptible to information going missing. People will forget to respond. It gets filed away or deleted or archived, or it just sits there in an email inbox with no response at all. Now, instead, if they submit a form, all the information comes into one place. It's easy for everyone. So if you're the operations manager, you can see all of the RFIs for all of the different project managers, and we can report on that information. I'll show you that in a moment. And it means that nothing's just sat idle in an inbox. There is an active way for RFIs to be managed. There's a process associated with them. So a new RFI is submitted via a form. It would then become an active RFI once the project manager starts responding to it and dealing with it and trying to answer questions. It can then get escalated if it needs to get escalated. So maybe you need to speak to the architect or something along those lines, and you've had to escalate the matter to someone else. And then ultimately you're looking to get the RFI completed. So this will show you all of the completed RFIs for all of the projects managed by all of the project managers. We obviously have priority, RFI type. This pulls in via the form, the date in which it was submitted, the date it's needed by, and then reference specs, the description, the proposed solution. We'll have days since created, so we're actually counting the number of days since that RFI was created, and then we will be able to report on, which I'll show you in a moment, the number of days that it takes to close an RFI, and the number of days close an RFI by project manager, etc., etc. We then have the attachments, or any attachments that they've uploaded. We can see the subcontractor, so we can actually associate the subcontractor with the RFI. So then we can see the number of RFIs submitted by subcontractor, the name, the email, the phone number, so who to get back to. So this is our RFIs process. Again, we have a form individually just for RFIs, but what you will notice on here is that we have different submission types. So you can use the same form, which is a global form, for change orders as well. The beauty of this is, if we can reduce the amount of effort associated with submitting information by making it as conceivably easy as possible to capture information, whether it's change orders, RFIs is completely applied to daily log submittals and other things like that, then there's more chance that people are going to use the form, which is exactly what we want them to do. But we also have just an RFIs form here if we just want to send the RFIs form out. There might be more to just subcontractors. As an example, they submit and then it's created in the system here. The data will then feed into our RFI dashboard. So we'll be able to, or the management team will be able to come to the RFI dashboard, see the number of open RFIs, escalated RFIs, average time to close an RFI. We can see open critical RFIs. So if there's an RFI that's been submitted that is equal to critical, we'll be able to see that on our report here. We've got open RFIs by user or project manager, average time to close an RFI by project manager. So I could just literally rename that nice and easy so it's slightly more applicable. So I can see here that on average it takes Alex 1 day to close an RFI. We've got open RFIs by project, so how many RFIs are open on a project, the number of RFIs per month, RFIs by type per project, open RFIs by subcontractor, RFIs by subcontractor by type. So like if your subcontractors seem to be asking, or there's one particular subcontractor that's asking a lot of questions and they might be stupid questions, you can tell them that they might be not thinking straight, or you can at least track that information because it's associated with the subcontractor as well. And these reports, this dashboard here, this is just general. Like there's a lot more nuanced stuff that we could create for your business. So if you are a commercial GC doing between $10 to $50 million a year in revenue, and you like a system just like this, check out the link in the description below, book a call with me and we can have a chat. But this can be customized to your requirements and your business. So that's the RFIs and the RFI dashboard. Again, lots of data here. We then also have change orders. So then we can track change orders. So every single change order that's submitted against a project is also logged here as well. The project manager's pulled through, the change order reference number, project reference number, the project, the change order value, everything comes across. We've got the change order description and then whoever's submitted the change order as well. So it's easy to communicate with them back and forth. Once a change order comes in, it would then be in review from requested, and then it's either approved or billed or declined. So what does this actually mean? Change order comes in as a requested change order. Someone, i.e. the project manager, then reviews the change order, liaises with the client to see exactly what's going on, make sure that they're happy with the change order, then they approve it. Now, the nice thing, the beautiful thing about this is when they approve it, it creates a new billing record, and that triggers the billing process for the finance team. So it creates a billing record when the change order is approved. And as you can see here, you've got new invoice request. So this is when a new invoice needs to be created, when the invoice is sent by the finance team to the client in relation to the project and the change order. And then we have the different stages of an invoice, 30, 60, 90 days overdue. And then ultimately we're looking to get to paid invoice. When the status of the invoice changes to paid, then it automatically updates the change order to say that it's a billed change order as opposed to an approved change order. So you've got that entire process there that's managed, and they're working in conjunction with one another to ensure that change orders are missed, change orders are handled properly, and also that your billing change orders, meaning that your one, not eating the cost of the change orders because they're going untracked, but also to ensure that your cash flow is managed effectively in association with those particular change orders as well. Now, I will also emphasize here that this can be customized to your business and how you work. So again, if you are a commercial GC doing between $10 to $50 million a year in revenue, and you want systems like this can be customized to how you work, change orders and the billing process. And then ultimately we have reporting for both the change orders and the billing dashboard. So if I click in here, I can see average change order value, approved not billed change orders, average time to bill a change order, billed versus declined change orders. That's essentially your conversion percentage. And then change order value by project managers per month. So how much money is each project manager bringing in? Change order value by project. So how much have we got in change orders for a project? You can then look at an average change order value by project. So how much on average do you generate in change orders from a project? Change order status by project, change order count by project, build change orders per month by value per project. So how much has been billed per project for change orders? You've got change orders per month by value, and then change orders per month by value by project. So on a monthly basis, how many change orders are being created for a project, and then change orders per month by value. So just the total amount of change orders on a monthly basis across all of your different projects. Again, this can be completely customized to how you work and the data points that you want to track, but hopefully this gives you an idea as to what's possible with the reporting. Again, you have the billing dashboard as well. So new invoices not sent, new invoices not sent value, invoices sent not paid, invoices sent not paid value. We've got average time to pay an invoice across all of your customers. And then we've got the 90 days overdue amount. So how much money is sat in our 90 days overdue. And again, we have a ton of additional reports here. This whole system tracking RFIs, change orders, and the billing process. And we're continuing to expand on this in other videos that we're creating on my channel. Please check them out and give them a watch, give you an idea of how this works. But the idea being is, how can we simplify RFIs, stop subcontractor delays? How can we simplify change orders, meaning you don't eat the cost? And how can we improve your cash flow by managing billing better? By using systems to track those key pieces of information, your cash flow is improved, your change orders are better managed, meaning you're not eating the cost of change orders and they're more likely to get approved. And your RFIs are responded to faster, meaning your subcontractor team knows what's going on, or your subcontractors know exactly what is going on. They're not sat idle waiting for you to get back to them about certain pieces of information that have just disappeared in an email inbox, and you're not wasting money paying them while they're sat there doing absolutely nothing. And then you have the projects board as well, so you can just see everything at a glance. Like I said, we are making this more and more advanced. This is an evolving process to make this as good as conceivably possible. Again, if you're a commercial GC doing between $10 to $50 million a year in revenue, you want systems like this, check out the link in the description below. Let's have a chat. We can put this together for you, and I am absolutely certain it will improve the profitability of your projects. Thank you ever so much for watching. Hopefully this video has given you an insight into what's possible. This platform is actually called Monday.com, by the way, if you've never heard of it before. I'm sure you probably have, but if you haven't, it's called Monday.com. Book a call below if you meet our criteria. Thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully we'll be speaking soon. Thank you. Goodbye.